So, like, I think sex is that way because it's such a personal thing, and regardless of who you are, it affects you. It doesn't matter whether you have sex or you don't. Like, it doesn't matter if you are like a straight person or a gay person, or if you're asexual or whatever. Like, sex touches everyone's lives to different degrees, but like in every sense. So it's like always going to vary depending on who you're talking to about it.
It's true. Facts.
Yeah.
Thoughts, feelings.
No, this has been very insightful. Still,
Questions.
What's you lot sexual fantasies?
what's my sexual fantasy? I don't think I really.
You know what? I've done my sexual fantasy. I'm just
What's yours?
What was it?
have like a threesome.
That's very doable as a fantasy.
At first, I never knew it was. I remember one time I was at uni and I had a friend. She was bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we used to talk, link up, and do our thing. But then we just kind of became close. Then one day, like she invited like her girlfriend over, and like they just started kissing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, what's going on? I thought, yeah, I'm the man. That's because there's two girls in my room kissing. I was just there they were literally like, I was saying like they were there. I'm thinking, right, yeah, I'm the man. Like, look, two girls in my room kissing. And then the girl that said, Kate, come over. And then one thing that led to her next. So that was my first proper like. So it was quite interesting still. You know what I mean?
I got
But
one.
like, I never thought that something like that actually happened. You know what I mean?
I want to have sex in Caesar's Palace on the balcony.
In America.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're gonna do that one day. So
Yeah.
When you're
Why
Yeah.
Caesar's Palace?
Why Caesar's Palace? Have you?
Yeah.
It's hi. When I'm married, that's what I'm doing. That's my honeymoon thing.
okay. You see yourself.
You just want to have sex up really high.
Yeah.
You just like the opposite of Virgo.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just want to be up there. I don't know why. I like heights in it. I'm up there.
I also
You like heights?
Yeah, I'm not scared of heights.
okay.
What you meant on?
Yeah, that's my pop.
Full part, bro.
No, Fort Park was a different story because
bro.
something else happened at Fort Park. Yeah, it was that I was scared of heights.
Okay, cool. I don't know, you know. I don't know what my sexual fantasies are. I don't know. I generally don't know.
I don't know. Sex life must be quite boring, mate.
I mean, it's worth thinking about.
What's your? You've probably done your sexual fantasy already, you know.
Done my sexual fantasy. I mean, I have like sexual fantasies that involve like too many like props or locations. So stuff like sort of like the Caesar's Palace thing of being like
No,
in
fuck
like
off,
a,
man.
in
Don't
like
take
a
mine. Don't take
grand
mine.
building,
No, like a location,
or like it's like very location based. I would
Yeah.
say like the stuff that I haven't explored to any great degree.
Yeah.
So
I think it's similar. I think
you said
mine's
stuff I'm
like-
quite interested. Props. What's a prop? Like, it's a prop, for example, like a sex toy,
Yeah, sex toy or like stuff like
like a whip.
yeah, or like
chain.
yeah, just like different like objects you can incorporate into your sex life and stuff like role playing, that sort of thing.
You know what's very interesting nowadays? Yeah, like females can make. Some men will message a female online, and can I ask for like a picture of your sock or your knickers, and all they have to just send it, and then they will send the money. You know that, right?
Yeah, you
That
have
is-
in Japan they have the thing people talk about with the vending machines for underwear. I don't know if that's true or not, but I remember that being a
Vending
thing
machine. I
people
never heard
talk
about this. What's this?
It's like you use underwear, but like yeah, I know people who sell their underwear online.
That is like you females are so lucky.
I mean, we have to deal with a lot of other stuff
So,
though.
yeah, it's like compensation because of a lot of other
Yeah,
things.
it's sort of like the porn thing, right? Like I pay for porn because it's like a more ethical way, but like realistically, like it exists under capitalism and patriarchy is inherently linked to it. So like, there's no way for
Would
it
I
to
feel
not be
better if I paid for
misogynistic.
porn? Like after if I watch porn, would I feel better? After?
Go and get a 7-day trial and find out.
I'm just thinking out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking out.
But yeah, there's like no way to ethically like to fully ethically consume it from my perspective because it like patriarchy and capitalism are linked, and so like you can't like really avoid them in a weird way, which is super fun.
Wow. I feel like, Nora, you have literally educated us so much.
And our listeners, viewers as well.
Our listeners and our viewers.
I think this has been my favourite episode.
I can agree.
I feel like we got to do a part 2 as well, you know, because there's so much more.
I think we should get another female.
Yeah, you should get
another female's like point of view.
Yeah.
So what we bring?
So if you know any friends,
thank you so much. I think it's been, I can say like it's been amazing.
Honestly, thank you, man.
Communication, the topics. Any other questions?
Laura,
Nora.
N.
Oh my gosh, I know about your sexual fantasies and you don't even know my name.
I just want to, because like I've never been with like a female outside of
interracial relationship.
Basically, like, how do I
was surprised that didn't come out actually, because when you asked,
I wanted to.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what?
That's what I'm saying. We got to do a
ending. This is gonna be a very long.
I wanted to be honest. Laura,
we're gonna continue. Don't worry, bro.
I don't know how to approach like a female like you, because like honestly, like I don't know what
it feels like because it's coming from two different worlds. For example, like someone like. For example, someone like myself, because we mentioned this before, we've had a conversation. Someone like myself, because what I do is what I do. I'm in a very dominated space of white people, for example. Someone like me, it's a lot easier for interrelationships to happen. Whereas someone like my friend Michael here, who his actual circle is people that are very similar to him, that have the same views, same mindsets, same culture. It is very hard to broaden, your sexual experience with different people of different races. So I think Michael's like, help me. What do I do? That's his questions.
No, seriously.
Yeah. Like, do you mean like, is it different? Like, is it different to approach like a white girl?
No, like, do I have to say something? Do I have to like dress different? I don't know. It's just like I've never.
Yeah.
Like
I think
because the way Michael would go and approach Nora, for example, I don't think. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So I want to say something. For example, right? Okay. For example, right. Disclosure. Yeah, catcalling is not acceptable wherever. Yeah, it's not a cool thing. However, especially in let's say Caribbean community, there is a sense of like if you were to show it, it is a sense of catcalling, but it's more of a mutual approach. So it's like a guy would like, I don't know, like give an example, guys. Like it'd be like
if they saw, they'd be like, "Wild one, slow fleer or something."
Or it'd be like Miss with the striped shirt.
Yeah.
I like.
I've walked down the high street.
Do you know what I mean? She is a Lucian. You know what I'm saying? She was in the market and that. From McDonald's and that. Come on. But like, yeah, they would say like Miss with a striped shirt, yeah, and. Like 9 times out of 10, the approach would be, the woman acknowledges that she's wearing a striped shirt and she'll smile.
Yeah.
So it's like it's happened for so many years that it's not like we don't view it as a bad thing. Mm-hmm. And then if she doesn't want to talk to you, she keeps her head straight and she doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you Miss, you say it one more time, she's not talking to you, you leave her alone.
Yeah.
Right. But like I feel like in Western culture, or like let's say in the UK, for example. If we did that, or if you did it to, let's say, a Caucasian woman, right, that would be seen as like catcalling because of the culture difference and whatnot, and it'd be like, oh my god, you do not do that, and rightfully so, absolutely. But I think that's where things start to differ. It's like, how do I then, if that's something that someone's always known, and how to approach them from a distance, not necessarily if they're next to me. I'm not gonna be like, you're Mr. the striped shirt, you're right next to me. Just say hello, you're right. But like, if from a distance, then how do you? Do you know what I mean? Like how do you approach that when there's like a culture barrier and there's all those kind of things?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because everyone's different.
Different. Yeah, each of their own.
Yeah.
Because like
some people might like it, some people might not.
Yeah, like
I've been a black guy before.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael was killing me.
Wait. Michael got bunched up here. And right now, it's like 8 seconds and he's coming back up. Let's go.
Like, so do you prefer black guys or?
No, like, because I feel like if you have, it's a really complicated issue that I think I'm probably wrong about a lot of aspects to it. But from my perspective, if you have a racial preference, say for instance, if I was like, oh, I really like having sex with black guys, that's fetishization to me.
I don't have a racial preference. It's just I've never like got unlucky with one.
I just want to clarify. So do you think it's fetishization because you're a white woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, because there's also history that you have to acknowledge, and like I would like if like you know like there, especially between like black men and white women, there's a lot of history there that is complicated. But in terms of like approaching women, yeah, I mean, I don't love being catcalled. It's not like, it doesn't make me feel great. And I find it like, and I didn't actually know that it was like a cultural thing, to be honest.
My culture,
but like, you can like go on dating apps and stuff.
I don't.
So,
dating apps are a bit scary, man. I think
as you can tell, we are three men with amazing personality, and I feel like it's hard on dating apps.
Yeah, I can't show myself on a dating app.
Do you use a dating app?
Why do I need to use a dating app?
Yeah,
I tried it. I just not for me. I'll be honest. I tried it for the first time recently, and it's nah. I'm so sorry. What about you, Max?
Nah, I ain't got no dating app.
So how do you meet people then? Just like out and about?
Out and about. We go out a lot.
You see, growing up, yeah, when we was younger, we used to see our brothers on the street talking to women, like not in a way where like they're harassing them or nothing, but smooth chocolate, dark brown skin, like so.
Very
we've known how to approach women from a very young age, and that's why I feel like we have the morals that we do have as well towards women. Shout out our brothers and that, but yeah, so for us it's different. So if you were to bring someone else here that does use dating apps, they could say something that we wouldn't be able to say. I don't know, I've never used a dating app in my life.
I think this is why, like, I'm gonna assume, but a lot of women, when they're speaking to us three, they're like, oh my god, you guys are so calm, like you guys, like we don't harass women, we don't
articulate
like
ourselves.
we know, like we just like to have fun, but we're also very respectful, and you know, and we also mind our business. Like we don't.
But that's because we've been taught. A lot of people haven't been taught how to really, and we've got a lot of women around us as well. So
we have loads of women around. Like most, like nearly 80-90% of our friends are women. So it's like, yeah. So we kind of understand. We listen to a lot of time. Like, okay, and understand the approaches. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying again.
And we're amazing as well, to be honest, so that helps.
Me and the Mandem Podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, thoughts and feelings, interracial. Like, how could you help my brother out here, you know, Mike, with interracial relationships?
I honestly am like racking my brain, but I don't know. I've never thought about it. Like, I've never like actively gone out to date someone who wasn't white. I just happened to have met a couple people who I've dated who aren't.
Maybe I've just come across the wrong females. Might just be that.
I mean, I think it is. I think it is relevant to be like I think it's probably trickier for you. Do you know what I mean? Like in the sense of like, there's a lot of stigma around black men, and like white women like perpetuate that a lot, like culturally and like the way that they like or we like are towards black men. So I don't know. I think it's probably better for you to ask. I don't know. I don't know who you can ask, honestly.
So let's just pause. Role play. Let's just say you two was on the street. Michael, how would you go and approach Nora?
If you approached me on the street, I wouldn't talk to you because I wouldn't. And that's not because I have any like particular feelings about you as a person. Just if anyone talks to me on the street, I'm not talking to you. I don't have time. I'm busy.
So how do you meet people then?
I meet people on dating apps.
Okay.
Or like through friends.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of partners who I met through work as well.
Okay.
So it's interesting. It shows that everyone has their formula as well.
Yeah.
And how they meet people and how they are open to certain relationships.
Yeah.
And I think you have to tie into each person's formula of how they do that. Because I wouldn't like the fact that you said that. It's like, it's really interesting. It's like, so if Michael's like the perfect guy for you, and because you have your way of how to be approached, that connection can't happen in that way.
Yeah.
He has to now find you in a organic environment in a workspace, which is totally fine. But it's just interesting that we know, like, oh, people have their ways of how they want to be approached.
I think it's the fear of the unknown as well, because for example, if like for example at school, like we went to school with a lot of like white females, and they became comfortable with us because they're around us every day. So maybe that might play a part in it as well.
Yeah, but I think that's the fear of unknown. I get what you're saying, but I think that's just human nature, innit? Like, the more you get to know someone, the more you can subconsciously judge your perception of them and how you view them. And if you like them, again, I don't think that's necessarily down to race. I think if you just end up liking a person,
Slightly is nature, nurture.
then it's like, oh, okay, cool. Of course, you may have, like you said, Taz said, nature and nurture. You may have your preconceived ideas or what they think, but then when you get to know the person individually, you're like, oh, you're like this, or I never knew that about you. And
because
then you make your own personal.
That's true, because people think I'm this scary person, but when they talk to me, it's like I've had people tell me that I thought you some next like mad crazy guy, but when you're around, you're just a normal. It's a normal.
There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people like that.
We're just nice guys, sensitive.
Yeah. But we've kind of talked about that.
I talk to Nora all the time. My biggest, like, not hate, but it's like, it's perception, innit? It's like how, like, I'm aware that we're young black men and we're not like clean cut. And I say that in a very, like, worrying way, because
We from the hood.
there is a type of black men that is pictured in a certain way and is marketed into certain spaces. So no facial hair, no hair, like level 1 buzz cut, and smart clothing, and speaks a certain way and acts a certain way, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But it's like you eliminate the whole spectrum of a lot of other black men, and also mixed race men, and people who have different skin tones. But like, I feel like a lot of the time it doesn't champion individuality within black men, and it's like we all, like, a lot of us are all the same. If we're from a particular, like, especially for example, if you're a black man and you're between 16 to 35 and you're from South London, oh, you're all the same. You've probably been in a gang. And it's just like, no. Hello, my friend here is a teacher. My friend here works with the NHS. We are people of standard, but it's like
That's even one of the reasons why we decided to make this.
That was the reason why
we actually want to show people that there's actually black youths from the ends that know how to articulate themselves, will work good jobs. No one's been arrested. No one's been. I'm trying to say, because
yeah, man, perception.
We just get we get stigma
all the time.
Yeah.
Stigmatized.
So maybe that's why when I approach white females, maybe they don't give me the time of day, because it's subconscious.
It's true, because it's like, do you have to? Then you ask yourself, do you have to, like, unfortunately, I'm gonna say this, but dilute yourself to then fit in certain spaces?
Right, but then if you're gonna be in a romantic relationship with someone, do you want to have to do that?
And that's why some people find it into relationships really hard. Not even before you get to family and culture and all these things. It's just because it's like, am I actually being my true self within this relationship? And vice versa. Like, there's only so much a person can be understanding and always be like, oh, okay, cool, I'm trying to learn. But sometimes, like, I just want to be me without having to always compensate or always have to, vice versa. So it's draining on both sides, I think, sometimes. But, if love is what keeps you together,
love should conquer all, man.
It should conquer all.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Love isn't everything. Love isn't everything.
You need money, security.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, bro, because like in a relationship, you need more than love, bro. Because imagine you're living together, you're the only one paying bills. I'm not some prick. Come on, man.
These bills, shout out
Like,
yeah,
there's
I'd be really interested though if you like come up with an answer for that question.
What question?
About like how to approach like.
So
white women.
there you go.
We're gonna do some research.
Put in the comments,
secondary research.
How do Mikez approach white women?
That's what it is. Yeah, like I find it easier to talk to white females when I'm with my white male friends.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, you feel more comfortable to do so.
I feel like the only response I have is like racism for that. Like,
this is why I like Nora.
Yeah, because everybody was thinking it, but nobody was saying it. But
it's just like that is what it is, and it's like I can't sit here and be like, this is how you do this, because it's just like,
I'm saying
Scared of you. Well, it's okay.
so it goes back to nature nurture again.
We need to break this barrier because there's no black white. We're just different tones. If you live in Africa, you're gonna be darker. If you live in Eastern European, you're gonna be lighter. That's all it is, people. That's all it is. We're just different tones.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to disclose that Mikez and Nora have going rounds and rounds and rounds, and
And I feel like they've come to
come to some sort of
nice,
when the fighters go do the
you know when they've been chatting shit for the
the mutual respect.
Yeah,
we're both fighters, but you know what?
you know what I mean? No, it's been amazing. It's been a really, really pleasure of having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
No, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Before any last questions,
He's around too, man.
Literally.
No, we're gonna get round two. I'm gonna get a female on so we can get a female's
longest
perspective
epic
as well.
We're gonna split
Trust
up.
me, Cyrus.
So again, thank you once again. But yeah, big round of applause for Nora, everyone.
Thank you, Nora.
Thank you.
Yes. You would like to, what's your socials, shout yourself out and stuff?
My socials are at Nora Lempriere, which
Spell
is
it for
my my full name, which is NORALEMPRIERE.
Can you go again, please?
Some people are dyslexic. Like
NORALEMPRIERE.
Is that on Twitter and Instagram?
No, just Instagram. I have Twitter. I am not very active on social media because I kind of hate it, but I probably should be better about it.
He's always telling me to post, but it's just too much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my socials.
Cool.
I'm in No Table
Yes.
with Montz.
Yeah. But what?
Which is like a much
Come on.
So this is the reason why MTM hasn't been happening because Montz had to do other things. So
at least he admitted it. It's off our backs.
So I'm part of a theatre company with Nora called No Table Productions, and we are creating an amazing content such as short plays. We just recently done our first devised piece together.
You can cast us anytime.
That's actually true.
Like people forget once you forget about.
You forget our thing, you know.
Don't get twisted, man. We didn't act it properly.
Big West End credits.
We have to support him because he's the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love my brothers. But yeah, so we're in a theatre company. Follow us at no.table.prods PRODS on Instagram and no_table_prods on Twitter, and look out for more content because we're gonna come and give you some sick stuff. But on that note, this is the end of the episode. I've been Montz.
Am I, Mike?
Taz.
Nora